So this is my EB100 on my main pond. You may have seen it before in my other videos. So why am I removing it? Well, as I explained in one of my other videos, Understanding Koi Pond Filtration, bead filters are excellent mechanical filters. They're not so good on biological. Your results may vary. Some people like them for the biological results, but it wouldn't be something I'd totally rely on. And that's why after this I've got my backy river and stuff like that as biological. This is purely mechanical. Now, also on the Understanding Koi Pond Filtration video, you'll see my drum filters, which are literally the best mechanical filtration you could buy right now. There's nothing better for mechanical filtration than a drum filter. So the water goes through the drum and then through this. So what's happening is the water goes through one of the best mechanical filtrations that you can buy right now, and then through this mechanical filtration. So it does very little. And I actually think at this point it is more of a hindrance on this pond than an actual requirement. Before I had the drum installed, I had Nexus and that, and then it was fabulous. If you put an EB 60 or an EB 100 after a Nexus, you will notice the difference straight away. It's just fabulous for that, and it's fabulous on its own. But after a drum, I'm not so sure. I don't think it's doing a good job anymore. I mean, that bucket is pretty mucky, and that is after a clean. I have just cleaned it. I've never actually drained it before, so that muck is what's just been sucked out from getting literally the last bit out of the bottom, which you would never do on a normal clean. In fact, I'll just turn that off before it overflows, that bucket, which it already is doing. Never mind. So they harbour a little bit of muck, which is not great for me in this pond. I prefer not to have that, so I'm removing this filter, and I'm going to walk you through the steps of removing it. But I'm going to try it without it. Maybe I can put it back. I'll leave it so I can put it back on, but it is not my current intention to ever put this filter back on. So here we go. As you can see, I've just drained the filter, so there's no water in it, and I've drained the line going into it. It's all turned off to the pond, it's turned off from the pond, so I can disconnect everything now and hopefully just pull it out of the way. The drain might provide a little bit of issues, but everything else is just connected by a rubber boot, so all I have to do is undo that and that, and it should be free. So yeah, let's get on with that. So that's the filter removed. So I've just pushed it to one side. It weighs an unbelievable amount, so I'm just leaving it there for now. So my intention here is to just plumb it up without that, so I'm going to do a bit of plumbing here. My plan is to remove this because it's in my way. I'm going to come across here, rubber joint here, so I'm going to cut that there, rubber joint straight down here. Then I'm going to have a ball valve that comes here, and then a ball valve here, and then I'm going to put a heater on the wall here, which you'll see later. And then it's going to run, so it's going to run straight down to the bottom here, 90, and then back up into that. But I can close the ball valve here and divert it through the heater and then back through. You'll see what I mean later when it's done. So that's my plan. So I'm adding a heater to it. I am going to sort of make it so that this can be added again. I'm going to leave it off for a month, just see what I think. I was quite shocked at how much muck come out of the bottom of it, as you can see in the other bit. So it might have been that what I was having trouble with. So maybe I'll give it a month, see if I feel like I miss it, and see what I'm going to do with it. So yeah, there you go, that's my plan. I'll get on with it now. So there we go, that's that part work removed. I've cut that there. Not the best at cutting in the world, but there we go. One there, one there. So this is the drain. I'm just going to put a cap on that because obviously it's purely for this bead filter, so I don't need it anymore. This is obviously the outlet from the pump, so a pump, you really like that, and that's going to come down here. and then connect straight into this. This goes back to the pond, so it goes through the water pond if I open this floor valve here. There we go, good way of cleaning that. But, there we go, so I'll get on with that. So there we go, I've got that bolt there on there, it comes down. So this is what I was talking about with the valves. So this one goes that way, a bit tight, there we go, it goes that way. And then the water can go straight down, and if this one's open, well it's tight as well, like that, the water can go straight down. I'll put a joint there, and then a joint there, and it'll come straight up into there, into the pond. But if I close this, and open this, and open this, so it will divert the water through what is going to be a heater just here, and then back to the pond. So there you go. You might be wondering why I'm doing this. Well, it's quite simple. I need a heater for this pond because I'm going to use it to heat treat the water. I'm having a bit of problems. As you might have noticed, when I did the water it was green, and if I look up there, look, green water, I'm treating it a bit. So the next treatment is going to be a heat treatment. I'm going to heat the pond up to 30 degrees, and I'll show you that in another video. But this is installing the heater, I guess. So I'm going to get this running, and then tomorrow I'm going to put the heater on them ball valves. There we go. So get it wired up, get it running. So there we go. Done all that, got it plumbed up. See, it's down there, and then up there. So I've made this so that I can put this bead straight back on if I want to. This goes down to the level where it just goes straight into here, and then this is obviously, because it were before, cut off at the level that went into there, so I can do that. Obviously there's going to be a heater on this bit, so I can't really put a heater into the bead, so just really because the bead's a massive radiator in that sort of respect. So if I had a heater on before the bead, all the heat would just be wasted on the bead rather than going into the pond. So for now it's just going to go like that. If I decide to put the bead back on, I can do easily, and then, you know, it's no problem. If I decide not to put it on, then that's how it's going to be. I've just put the water back on, and I left that valve open, and it just, yeah, hence all the water on the floor. But I'll give it a try. So if I open this valve here, I haven't tightened that one up enough. It happens, doesn't it? So you always have to check one of them. Just get back to it. There we go, that's that. I just nipped that up a little bit. So do nice, open it to the pond, put a little air into it. There we go, let the air out into the pond, and I can turn the pump on. Obviously it's got to fill the UV light with water a bit. That's something, isn't it? Have a lot of air to blow out though. Might want another tighten up. There we go. It's pumping more that. Look over here. There we go. Running lovely. But yeah, these, yeah, a lot of pressure behind them. There you go, that was this part of the video, and now I shall put the heater on. See you shortly. So here we are, the next day, and I have installed the heater. So let's put it level of it. And as you can see, it's all in position now. Just wired it up, I haven't tested it yet, it's all dry. So hopefully it works. And we shall see now. So what I'm going to do first is put this valve on. Test for any leaks. Keep some air in it. Letting all air out of the system. Don't see any leaks so far. I'll open that one. Oh, that's a tight one. There we go. Close that one a bit. we go, that's the full pump flow rate flowing through there. I might stop that one a tad, like that. Share the load. There we go. That all air's gone, can't see any water. Good. Oops. There we go, all air's gone, let's turn it on. Power. 22.6. Now I haven't read the instruction manual for this, so I imagine 22.6 is the current temperature. I think that might mean that the element's on. I think if I press that, okay, I definitely should have read it. Let me read the instruction manual, I'll come back to you. Okay, so I've read the instructions. This is the current pond temperature, and I want it to be 25 degrees, I'm going to say. So I click that, and then I turn this up. I can hold it down to 25. Oh, it goes after a minute. Let's have it there. 25 degrees. That should bring the heater on. There we go. I'll put the heating on. So now it should start to warm up. So there we go. I'm not going to have it on 25 degrees. What I'm going to do is bring it down a little bit. So I'm going to increase it about 1.5 degrees every day. So I might put it on something like 24 actually. And see how we get on. There we go. I'll come back to you in a bit. So here we are with the finished product. You can see the heater just turned off. It has been on for a few days now. I've increased it 1.5 degrees every day, and now it's at 30 degrees. And the actual heater itself doesn't really get warm. Obviously you've just seen it turned off, and it's probably on about 15 minutes. There's a slight temperature in it, but I wouldn't say it's warm particularly, any warmer than, you know, 30 degree water is. So the water coming out in it doesn't seem to be actually any hotter on the pipe than the water going into it, which I thought, you know, I thought you would be able to see a difference. But it's done really well, this heater. I hate that I've put a heater on this pond. It doesn't need heating, as you can see. It was 22.6, 22.5 without the heater on, and you know, it's September now, so that's pretty good. But that's because it's an indoor pond. This heater is actually costing me, well, it was actually heating, so when it was heating 1.5 degrees per day, it was costing me almost £20 a day to run it. Whereas now it's settled down. Now it's not. Yesterday it didn't do any heating particularly, and it cost me about £15 a day. And today I think it'd be a lot less because it's an even less heating. It'd probably be about £10 a day. So yeah, as you can see, I bet some of you thought I was going to leave that 4mm flex on it. I've put 10mm twin and earth on it. It did get that 4mm flex quite warm. It does get this 10mm flex, a bit of temperature in it, but it is a very powerful heater. It's 8 kilowatt, so you know, it's greedy with power. If it's on constantly, it costs me about 80p an hour to run it. So it is literally only on for the treatment basis. And if you want to know more about the treatment, I will be releasing another video after this one on the treatment. This was specifically on installing the heater. I thought I'd do something different. I do a lot of changes to ponds, and this pond I'm always doing things. I thought, you never know, people might find it interesting to show what I'm actually changing on it and why. And there's the bead. You will find out in a month's time whether I didn't put this bead filter back on. I'll put another video up if I put it back on, and if I don't put it back on, then I'll put another video on of me taking this bead filter off, because I can't, if I'm not having that one on, I'm not having this one on either, for reasons I'll explain if I do take it off. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in the next one. Any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thanks for watching.